RB, what's happening? What's happening, cuz? Yo, damn, what's his name? Oh, Muhammad, what's going on with you? Oh, yeah, that's right. It is coming up, huh? Sevens up. What's happening? Oh, okay. What's going on with y'all? There's a lot going on out there. There's a lot going on out there. Just chilling, just watching your stream. Shit. Thank goodness. I'm ready for the cool down. Well, shit, it's cool down out here. It's cold out here. It's been cloudy out here like all day. I'm ready for it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Shit, I'm about to roll up too, cuz. I'm about to roll one up too. As soon as I find my scissors. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's raining out there? Oh, shit. Yeah, it looked like it was going to rain out here. It looked like it wanted to. Yeah. See, that's what we was. Yeah, because it was like it was. You could tell like it was cloudy and shit, but you could also still feel like that warm weather too, mixed in with it. Like, oh shit. Well, we just had an earthquake on the coastline. What was that? Yesterday or the other day? Yeah, you know in the north, man, we always, man, that should be, yeah. I be hating that shit sometimes. You feel me? Yo, Daniel, what's happening? Exactly. Shit, I remember going outside like it'd be first thing in the morning. It'd be looking like it's about to start storming. Go outside and it's just like What the fuck? This don't feel how it look. That's because of that damn humidity. That should be feeling like the South sometimes. Shit, I be telling folks from the South too. They be like, yeah, right. You don't be feeling, man, shit. We be getting that shit too. In certain parts of California, man, that should be feeling like the South sometimes. Cause it be like no type of cool air. But it's cloudy and it start raining and shit. Fucking rain be hot and shit. You guys ever feel hot rain before? That shit, man. Uh-oh. She has entered the building. What's going on, Chicago? Man. No, hey, you know how when that breeze be coming through, when them Delta winds kick up and shit. See, I wanna tell y'all something that may not be privy to, you know, our area of the Bay Area, right? So now I know a lot of people have heard about the Santa Ana winds out there in Southern California, and trust me, that shit is a motherfucker on its own right? But in the Northern Bay Area, we got this thing called the Delta breeze, right? And when that motherfucker kicked up, shit, you got trees swaying back and forth. And I'm not talking about the little twig, small trees. I'm talking about them ones with the trunks are like big, fat, and round, and the roots are like dug into the ground, so it ain't finna go nowhere. But them winds start kicking up, man, them motherfuckers get to pulling out the roots and shit. I'd be like, God damn, shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Oh, just going over my life choices. Oh yeah, I feel you on that. You know, shit, that's yeah. I will be tomorrow. Yeah, I will be tomorrow. It'll be all over and done with. Thank goodness. I'm tired. Nah, I ain't even saying. To be honest with you, I really ain't even been paying attention. I ain't been keeping up with all that. Because I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's going to happen, you know. And besides, I don't like listening to Rampage talk a lot either. He starts getting on my nerves after about 2 minutes. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man? Yeah, them wins, man, shit. Them ones get the knocking you over and shit. Man, people really be trying to walk in that shit too. I'll be like, what the fuck is you doing? They be struggling. And the only reason why I can say that is because I was one of them people that had to struggle. Man. Be over there trying to catch your breath and shit. Like, you better not try to catch your breath in that shit. You're gonna be sucking in a whole lot of wind. Oh man. Y'all be crazy in California building houses on sand. Oh man. Yeah, but that's only certain parts of California though. That's only certain parts of California. You know. Because we like to keep our sand at the beach. You know, you try to bring sand home, you're gonna bring something else home you don't want. Be like, damn it. Or they're kicking yourself and shit. Like, why did I do that? I should have took that last shot of alcohol. I would have been good. Let's see. Nah, I really haven't. I mean, I followed it like the days afterwards, but you know, because I kind of already see where this is going. I kind of know how it's going to go, so I kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I just be waiting for the shit to happen. Baby, been quiet for a minute. For real? Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. You know, the baby being quiet, that's not good. In normal cases, that's a good thing. The Bay Area is not known for being quiet. Even on its good days, it's not known for being quiet. You know, that means motherfuckers is plotting. That means motherfuckers is plotting. That's all that means. Shit. Some will crack off here in the next couple of days. Oh, God, I miss the Bay Area. Shit. I miss it, but then again, I don't miss it. And you know why, too. I miss it, but I don't miss it. You heard Raja getting another booking. Yeah, I figured. You know, because it's like this. Whatever's going to happen in the courtroom, that's what's going to happen in the courtroom. You know, but until then, all these promoters, all they see is dollar signs. So they're like, well, shit, let's capitalize on this and make a couple extra dollars because people are going to want to see Raja get his ass kicked. You know, or the promoter's going to be so cynical, he's going to want to see Raja do that same thing to one of his wrestlers or her wrestlers. Whoever the promoter is. Man. It ain't the same. It ain't fun out there no more. You know what I'm saying? If we're really going to keep it real, though, it ain't fun out there no more. It hasn't been fun in the Bay in a long, long time. So people just get to regurgitating shit. Be like, yeah, that's cool, but shit. If I ain't seen it 1,000 times, I done did it 1,000 times. And I ain't trying to make it 1,001. Not to mention the cost. The cost is ridiculous. Like, yeah, come to the Bay Area. It's so great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It used to be great. Now it's just a cesspool of nonsense. I hope it don't get to that point. Oh, sure. It's already at that point. It's already at that point. Because if Stu sticks to his guns and sues, you know, see, and that's the thing. Sue said he's going to sue. I don't think I heard anything about him pressing charges, you know. Which you know, in all actuality, he shouldn't. He shouldn't, you know, because I ain't never gonna guilt trip somebody that got, you know, a mental illness issue that got elevated because all people want to see is a thirst of violence and see people crash out and shit. So, you know, in regards to the handshake is a handshake, and I still stand by what I said. Once the handshake happened, you know what I'm saying, it should have been dead. But at the same time, Stu should have been aware of, like, let me stay on my P's and Q's, and if he tries to basically what he did, just make sure he don't do it. No sell it. No sell it. What's happening, Curse? Z's ass snot, Zir. The problem with that though, he won't win it. He won't win it. He can do it, but he won't get anything out of it. Because they're gonna be like, well, what are you suing for? And they're gonna be like, and he's gonna say, well, he did assault me with the can, but then, they're gonna come back, because it's gonna look like a retaliatory suit. Oh, you're only doing this because, he's suing you, and courts don't like looking at that shit. Like, well, the courts in California. I can't speak about other courts. And what you think about what happens to that Ukraine woman? That judge should be held accountable for not upholding the law and no. Whoa! Well, wait, hold on. Oh, you're gonna have to inform me on that. Which Ukraine woman? Yeah, judges be on some bullshit. Well, I want to hear about this because I don't think I heard. I might have heard about it, but you're just gonna have to inform me a little bit more. Yeah, all that withholding up the law shit, man. All that's a bunch of BS. They be using that. They be using that little phrase. You know what I'm saying, to try to save face because they know what they're doing the majority of the time. They know they shouldn't be doing. Or they know it's fucked up what they're doing. Oh God, it's like backwards racism. Ah. Also, the judge was the judge black? A woman was murdered on the subway. Oh. Wow, just lifted with big J Militant. Oh, okay, for sure. Okay, hold on. Let me see. So it was the Ukraine woman that did the killing, or is accused of the killing? And the judge let the killer go on his. Oh. Yeah, you know what? That's been happening a lot. Yes, the judge and killer. Okay, yeah, that's been happening a lot. A lot of these, and that's kind of what I was kind of touching on, talking about the Raja thing, shortly after it happened. How, like, because I know in California that shit happens, but in other states and cities that also happens, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you're in like a Democratic state, aka blue state, the judges or just Democratic judges, tend to, they give these slap on the wrist and it's just like, wait, hold on, but this motherfucker he's accused of killing somebody. So you're just gonna let the person go? And two, just and this might not have anything to do with it, but it's something that can't be ignored either. And the reason why I asked if that was a black judge, because any loss of life is not good, right? But there's a lot of people from Russia, Ukraine, that come over here, and they're not exactly nice people, towards black people. Because we have a big old population of Russians and Ukrainians out here in Sacramento. And they got a very, very bad problem. They're worse than the racists here in America. And I'm like, what the fuck you come all the way over here for if you was just gonna be racist? You could have kept your ass over there. Shit, if you don't like black people, why you bring your ass to the United States of America? Because we're all over this bitch. We're in places where you think that there ain't black people in places, But we're all over this bitch. So you come to the United States to be racist? All right. Well then, when the backlash comes, don't be mad. So I'm wondering if there's a personal take in that, because these judges a lot of times take a lot of their personal feelings and they incorporate that in their judgments, which that should never happen. Because you're putting my life on the line based on how you feel about something that ain't got nothing to do with me. But they definitely should have, he should be sitting behind that walls with the rest of the killers. She was, if it was a white woman that killed a black man, yep, she would have walked. Yeah, in fact, justice is blind, so I don't know why they are bringing in skin color. Well, that's the United States, and that's why I brought that up too, based off of, history with them and us, but being that she's a judge, did those personal feelings incorporate into the ruling, and as ugly as it is, a lot of times skin color doesn't play a part. And there's times that it does play a part. And in this situation, it looks like it shouldn't play a part. But that's why I had to ask those questions to kind of, because I know, because like, I dealt with these motherfuckers all the time out here. I done had some of these motherfuckers, call my daughter out on some racist shit, calling her all kinds of N-words and calling her monkey and all that. And you know what I'm saying? So did she have something like that? I like to cover all bases, you know what I'm saying? But if skin color has nothing to do with it, then I'm not even going to even go in that direction, Because the majority of the time it's racist, and I'm not the one that's going to be up here race baiting. And that's the part that kind of pisses me off. It should be about murder, and that's the facts, not skin color. I love the law. It's just wild to more. So, and see, and this is the other thing too. The killer being black, could that have had a factor into what he did to her? I love the law. It's just wild to me. The more I get into cases on the internet, the to bring color into cases, regardless of what the case is. Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot. It happens a lot on both ends, on both ends. You know, and it really should. You know, it really should just be about what the case is, unless it comes out during the investigation that it was racially motivated. Then and only then should you factor in skin color. But if it was not racially motivated, then you got to keep skin color out. J Militant ain't not house smuggle. He is a magical being himself. Because the murderer is black, they painting a picture of another black man. But it's well documented that he had mental issues. But they are trying to say black judge let black man got to. Yeah, that would be called paying back for all of the murders that our people suffered from. But I'm like this, and as much as these Russians and Ukrainians are racist for the most part, and there's some good ones. I'm not going, I had some neighbors that were some good people, and I didn't hold their feet to the fire on that. But there is a lot of them that do not like black people, right? So in a historical factor of it, as far as the United States goes, I'm not going to hold their feet to the fire as much as I'm going to hold one of these other Europeans that had more to do with, causing harm to my people. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it happens, like, okay, they're here now. So when it happens, I address it. But historically speaking, they ain't the ones that, you know what I'm saying? Shit. So, but people are so, what's the word I'm looking for? People have so much anger that they tend to see logic in a lot of situations. And as I've stipulated, like I should be one of the maddest black men in the United States based off of what I've went through. I got locked up because a white girl said what she said that wasn't true. Now, some people will look at it and they'll say, well, no, it wasn't racially motivated. She said you did this, you said you didn't do that, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But when you look at the whole situation in its totality, how are you not going to say it wasn't racially motivated? And I've broken down how it can and it was racially motivated. Because the other boy that was in the classroom who wasn't black, nothing happened to him. Police didn't go knocking on his door. He wasn't suspended as long as I was. He got like 3 days. They gave me a whole full 5 days of suspension. And then within that 5 days, this is when the police come and knocking on my door, though. So from Jump Street, it was already, we're going to believe her. Forget what he has to say. But why? Why is it you guys is taking her word and you guys ain't even listening to me? So what is it? Now, the escape answer would be, oh, well, look at your reputation and look at what you've been doing and da 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 da. Okay, cool, got you. Look at my reputation. What does my reputation consist of? Does my reputation consist of anything of a sexual nature? And there ain't one person that can say to this day, nah, that wasn't and ain't never been. But for some reason, they're going to side with her and just hit me over the head with a jackhammer. Just like I pointed out about the school that I went to. There was a black vice principal and the principal was white. All the white and Asian kids went to the white principal. All the black and Latino kids went to the vice principal. Why is that? And then the only time that the black and Latino kids ended up going to the white principal's office, if it was something like, you know, I don't know, somebody accused somebody, kind of like what happened with me. One of them accused one of them of doing something, and it's just automatically they just go and like this shit played out all the time, you know. But while I was in it, I the only thing I was thinking about was I gotta protect my name. I gotta protect who I am. You know, I can't allow somebody to sit here and lie on me and say I did something that she knows, I know, everybody in that fucking classroom knows I didn't do it. See, the real issue is mental illness and no help out there. In facts for people with mental illness, regardless of skin color, but then they act like, oh my fucking God, when someone kills someone, there is no one to help. Yeah, now for real, up in something horrible happening. The bottom line is he has severe mental illness, and yeah, that's you know, that's something that should always be taken seriously. You know, and as much as the talk of mental illness has been going on, it's still not taken as serious as it should. I don't think a jury or judge should see the person during trial justice is blind, and it should be treated so. Nah, you, and I don't disagree with nothing you saying. I was visiting my family of color in Alabama. 5 of us on a vehicle. We got pulled over. The cop took me out of the car and asked me if I was okay. Yep. It took me about 10 minutes to understand what he was really saying. Man is not like that though. So imagine it was a culture shock. I can only imagine. It was like, oh my fucking God, I thought this was a thing of the past. Facts, that cop took me out the car because I was a white woman in a vehicle with deep brown people. Yeah, I flipped out on the cop like, what the fuck? And she should have been charged for false allegations. Should have. But guess why she wasn't? You know what I'm saying? I bet she walked around after that accusing you though. So this is why this is why the whole shit was bullshit in the beginning, right? Because we were all friends, right? Keep in mind, we were all friends. When that shit happened, half the friends went to her side. The other half stayed on my side because they knew that what, he don't do nothing like that. What the hell, you know? So that caused a big rift, you know, and she, you know, she was still, well, she wasn't going around popping it like how she was before. But instead of her doing her part to kind of kill everything, calm everything down on her end, nah, she just let people just keep that shit going. So I just said, okay, well, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I won in a court of law, so fuck y'all. Y'all just mad. Shit. And the thing about it is, ain't none one of them bitches had the balls to come up and say anything to me. But they had a whole lot to say when they thought that it was safe. Yeah. You stupid motherfuckers. Shit. Some of us went to the same high school. You didn't think I was gonna see you again? What, you guys thought they was just gonna keep me away? Hell no. You know. But now your situation, now, shit like that, especially in the South, you know, pulling you out, get on the radio, next thing you know, you got other patrol officers coming up, you know, they could have did something, you know. And they do that, you know what I'm saying? That shit happens a lot. And that's why I was trying to tell people, you know, a couple years ago when I had brought up the Confederate flag. And, you know, it's like racism is still going on and it's still very, very strong. You know, and one of the reasons why it still goes on the way it is because you still got people out there that sit here and try to act like it doesn't exist anymore. When, you know, it's out there. You know, I still deal with it. You know, I don't talk about it a lot because it's exhausting. I'm 46 years old. My recollection of how long I've been dealing with racism is exactly 45 years. No, exactly 40 years. 40 years. Because it was 5 when I can remember, you know, the first time dealing with it. So I've been dealing with this for 40 years. So it is exhausting, you know. But it's something that, you know, I'm not going to stay silent on. Whether people agree with it or not doesn't matter, because reality says racism still exists. And it just doesn't end. And racism just ain't a black and white thing, you know? Everybody has dealt with racism, prejudice, you know. And some people haven't. Yeah, I was with my extended family, and if people don't talk about it or don't call it out when they see it, then it will never end. Exactly. Nuclear gravy. I'm 65, a Navy vet, retired, white, and a hillbilly. All I can do is try and be as nice as I can to everyone until someone forces me not to be nice. Exactly. I love it. I love it. Yep, that part. I try to hang around people I want to learn good things from color hasn't entered my equation, just good character. And that's what it should be. That's what it should always be based on, you know, a character, you know, because like, you know, I was born in San Francisco, but I didn't really get to experience San Francisco until like I got older. But when we had moved to Fairfield, you know, like I've mentioned plenty of times, it was a country town. Mall was 3 stores. The hospital was literally 1 building. You know, dirt roads everywhere. We have farmland all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But it was a predominantly white town. And it wasn't too many people, you know, it wasn't too many black people out there. Wasn't too many Mexican people out there. There was a couple of Asians, a couple of sheiks and all that, but wasn't too much, right? So it was like the racism was like real heavy, you know. And even when the population started to get more diverse and more diverse and more diverse, it still didn't take away from that element because it just made those races want to stick their foot in and find other ways to try to make it difficult for the rest of us, you know. So it would be those police, it would be those certain council members or judges and stuff like that, you know, because you know I wasn't taught to hate. I was taught to be aware, you know, treat people how you want to be treated, you know. But because of the history of this country and who I am, you know, I gotta always be aware of that, you know, because I've had the experience of, you know, meeting somebody white, thinking they was cool, and we kicking and everything, but as soon as they get mad, first thing that come out their mouth, you guessed it, and they start calling me all kinds of monkeys and gorillas and, you know what I'm saying, all these derogatory things. But you was just my homeboy just yesterday. We was just cool 5 minutes ago. But because we have a disagreement about something, now all of a sudden you get in your feelings, now your true feelings is coming out. You know? So experiencing that, that's when I was like, okay, that's what they mean by be aware, because yeah, they can smile in your face and turn around and stab you in the back all at the same time, you know. But I ain't never let that, you know, stir my thinking, you know, because it's like this. There's pieces of shit in every group of people, right? So as long as you treat me with respect, I'm going to treat you with respect. As soon as you cross that line, shit, I'm going to have to put, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to put my Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? Because it's in my blood. It's how I was raised. That, you know, the militancy, that's just a California trait. But at the same time, like I said, I have a bloodline in the Panthers. So incorporating all of that, but once again, I don't let that stir my thinking. Because at the end of the day, I'm my own man. I'm my own person. Who I have in my life, that's who I choose to have in my life. You know, and people that are really down, hey, you know, because like Jay Coffee, my folks, he's white. You know, Chaos, one of my closest homegirls, she's white. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't let that, you know, when it comes to that, it's the racists I focus on. You know, it's the ones that want to sit there and kind of and still want to thinking that they have some type of superiority over me. Go back to Africa. Oh, save that shit. Tell them Africans to go back to Africa. Matter of fact, I'll help you say that shit. Get your ass back to Africa. I'm not from Africa. I was born right here on this land, in this soil called America. And I ain't leaving this motherfucker for nobody. I like to be around culture of all kinds. I can't stand uncultured people. Yeah, I feel that. I like the ones from Virginia, Chicago West. I live near Bedford, Virginia, uncultured. Yeah, I'm a country boy, but I try to be nice and make good spiral meat and gravy and biscuits. Yo, hey, Nuclear. Okay, so I gotta ask. So you're from Virginia and not West Virginia. See, I had to get schooled on that because I always thought that West Virginia and Virginia was the same thing. And they were like, oh, hell no. Nah. Shit, I almost got my ass kicked. They were like, oh, hell no. Nah. No. West Virginia is separate from Virginia. I said, oh. Like, my bad. I didn't know. I live in Maine. It don't get no more country than there. Sounds like Dub. Yeah. I can read someone from Monday to Friday as the day is long. Only ignorant people with no vocabulary have to go to the racist shit. Big facts. And I stand with people talk about other people's children like you know that low. Yeah, you have to talk about someone's kids. It blows my mind when people do that. Yes, Central Virginia, foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Oh, okay. Yeah, my homegirl I had just mentioned, she's out there in Virginia. You know, and then my ex-fiance, she's from Richmond. Need some water. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I like that country living. You know. Let's see something. Let's see if I can find this. Y'all wanna see a young J Millie? Y'all wanna see a young country J Millie? Let me see, where's that picture at? Hopefully it is in here. Or is it in the other one? I think it's okay. I can find it. Y'all gonna crack up. I had that picture too. Oh, where? Damn, I can't find that damn picture. I'm trying to remember where I put that picture at. Damn it. Well, whenever I find it, I'll show it to y'all. Oh, hold on real quick. Yeah, that picture right there, when I show y'all it, see, Navy says I have PTSD. The pills they give me make me care about nothing, but I grow my relaxation weed instead. Oh, okay. Now I feel that. A lot better method. We used to have a huge Navy base here in Maine, and being in the Navy killed him from some orange agent. Oh, damn. Oh, excuse me. That's fucked up. He passed away a week after his. Oh, damn. Damn, that hurts. Jesus, you probably should not be putting information out like that out there with those people lurking. Oh, I don't. Shit. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me in my country boy outfit. And besides, if they did anything with it, then they're creeps. And besides, I've showed it before. I just don't remember where I put it. But look, hey, look though. You can't hate on this. You can't hate on this. Look at that. Look at that young boy right there. Y'all see that young boy right there? See that young boy right there? Looking sharp. Looking sharp. Yo, Black Star, what's going on? See that young boy right there? Looking sharp. Oh yeah, mom's kept me looking sharp. You know what I'm saying? Although I didn't enjoy them Cosby sweater years, but you know it is what it is. Let me show y'all this real quick. I told y'all I play baseball, right? Round Table Pizza Pirates. See, I be telling people all the time, when I was younger, I had big ears. Young me. Dub could never look this good. I've only been going for a couple years. The best buzz for me is sativa with a citrus smell, something about the turpentines. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a hybrid indica guy. Granted, when I was younger, I had hair. Yeah, that's damn. I don't know what happened to that picture. Look at it. Hey, real veteran. My uncle who passed away a couple years ago. Look at that. Real vet. Marines, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. Great man right here. A great man. Yeah, I can't find that picture. You know, I'm gonna be on the hunt for that shit now. Much respect. RIP to Tiago. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? My uncle and my grandfather both, you know what I'm saying, had the flag at their service. Now, although my grandfather did not serve, he was a technician. So he worked on a lot of military equipment. He put together a lot of military equipment. A lot of military equipment that the military was using around that time came from my grandfather, you know. So he definitely contributed to the men and women that has served. But as you see, my uncle, you know what I'm saying? He went down that Marine. Hoorah, yes, sir. I thank him for his service. Thank you. Thank you for your service. You know? Shit, I got a cousin and her husband, they both served in the Army. They're both retired now. Oh, my grandfather was a police chief in Nigeria. Oh, for real? Oh, shit, that's dope. Yeah, I got it's another uncle. Well, he was married into the family, but he was a captain. He made it all the way up to captain in San Francisco. Shit, that fool was on America's Most Wanted. They was interviewing him because it was some big case that was going on like around 1990. And they was interviewing a lot of the San Francisco police officers and Bay Area officers as a whole. And when we found out he was going to be on there, I recorded that shit. I was like, hey. You know. So, yeah, and then I had a cousin. She was a CO, and she did that for a while. And then she was a 911 operator for a while too. So, and I got other family members that served. So I respect officers and get pissed off when they kill innocent black people because they should never be the case. Yeah. You know, because I remember being a kid, you know, and going to school and you know how they would send like a couple officers to the school and they would talk to the class about about not doing drugs and staying out of trouble and this, that, and the third, and making us junior officers, which don't really mean not a damn thing, but you get a nice little sticker that says junior officer. You know, and just saying all this stuff, but then like for some of us, we would literally have to go back to our neighborhoods where we would see a whole different picture, you know? And so it's like, you know, and for me, I was fortunate enough growing up that I've lived in both areas. I've lived on both sides of the track. I've lived in the hood and I lived in a very nice up on the hills area of Fairfield where they didn't have to worry about nothing except for some damn possums, maybe a fucking coyote or something, you know what I'm saying? Or that damn neighborhood cat. But, you know, as far as crime or worrying about police, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the police like patrolled our area like one time every other week. you know. But then I've lived in neighborhoods where you hear the police all day, every day. From the time you wake up, as you go through your day, to the time you go to sleep. Fire trucks, ambulances, people arguing and fighting, and you know, and it's just a whole different light. And the one thing that I noticed, that it doesn't matter on what size of the track you live on. If that police officer has a whole different alternative going on inside his head, it don't matter you living in a nice neighborhood, going to a nice school, dressing nice, all of that. Because he don't see none of that. All he sees is what you got on your body that you can't do nothing about because that's how you was born. But somehow he sees that as being a crime. And it's just like, huh? Like, it shouldn't be a crime in the nice areas. It shouldn't be a crime in the bad areas. If I'm minding my business and I'm not doing anything, why are you rolling up on me, bothering me? And then coming up and try to get off in my business and start making up stuff and trying to get me all confused because I'm young and I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'd be a lot of weird stuff that they be doing. It's just like, come on now. But then they'll turn around and they'll get on TV and say, well, you should love law enforcement and respect law enforcement. Well, how the hell am I supposed to respect law enforcement when law enforcement don't even respect me? You know, and then the other thing is you got these transfers. Some cop is messing up in some other state, so okay, he get booted out that department, but he gets transferred into a whole nother state, into a whole nother county, and bringing that bullshit with him, huh? Like, you got cops patrolling areas that do not know the area, don't know the people of the area. It's just like that doesn't benefit anybody. Oh, I went too far. I live on a side road that had about 12 families living on it. Us kids roamed the neighborhood and woods from dawn to dark. See, oh, I like that every parent on the road spanked easy. Ah, I remember them days. That's how my grandparents' neighborhood was. It's like, if you did something down the street and the parent down the streets caught you doing what you wasn't supposed to be doing, oh yeah, that's your tail. That's the first whooping. Now, when you get back down to the house, that's the next whooping. You know, and then if your parents ain't around, you know what I'm saying? When they get to you, that's an extra one. Like, I'm just a kid. One of us or another, then they tell our parents what we did and we get another spank. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Like I said, back in our day, we would police ourselves and respect athletes because the goal was to leave the hood and come back better. Yep. Woo. That sure was the goal, too. My career in literacy started and stopped one night when I was 16. I had bought a junker car and tried to steal gas from a neighbor's car at night. He shot at me with a 20 gauge loaded with whoo. Well, I'm glad that woke you up. You know, I'm glad that woke you up. You know, that's why I'll be looking at these youngsters. I'll be like, That shit ain't wake you up. That ain't wake you up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we all got to do better all across the board. We can't just, and we have a tendency to always like put it on the youth. Like, y'all should be doing this, and y'all should be doing that. Okay, well, but what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing because we're supposed to set the standard and the foundation to allow them to be able to grow and prosper as productive citizens. So if we're not doing our due diligence and doing our job, then we can't expect them to do it because they don't know. So they're going to go on their first instinct, and the first instinct is to go and think about it afterwards. Yo, what up, Mario? I watch videos literally every day of cops lying. The one A community has really exposed all of that. Oh yeah, I was just watching some of that today. It's just it's tiring. I'll say that it's tiring. My father laughed as he pulled the pieces of salt out my back. No more stealing for me. Grin. Yeah, I would think so. I know I wouldn't be. Hell no. You know. Thankfully, I ain't never been hit by a bullet. I've been shot at, but never been hit by a bullet. I'm not, I hear stories. I know people, and I ain't trying to feel none of that. I ain't trying to feel none of that. So the fact that I got through, not unscathed, I do have my wounds. I do have my wounds, but thankfully I ain't have to feel that heat going through my skin. I know I was blessed to grow up in the country. I didn't want to escape my area. I wish anyone who wants to change their life to get the opportunity. The world is for you younger folks to run now. Yeah, my time is I'm 46, so I've kind of passing on to the youngsters. I got a 21-year-old daughter, so I do my part in what I'm supposed to be doing, and I just hope for the best. Same, never been hit. Problem is no opportunity for the young. That's the other issue. It's so limited. I mean, when you think about it, it's limited for us grown adults. For the youngsters, it's even that much more limited. Unless you living in one of these rich areas that just has like a boatload of shit, you know what I'm saying, that you could just go to and everything, which I don't know why. One thing I never understood. If you're living in these nice areas, right, and you ain't got to worry about no type of gang violence, you don't have to worry about nobody getting shot, you don't have to worry about no crackheads, you don't have to worry about police rolling up and down your street every day, you don't have to worry about walking on pissy streets with homeless people laying on the side and all of that. One thing I never understood, why people who live in those areas are so gravitated to those elements of life to where now they want to emulate and live like people who grew up in those areas. I don't understand that. We're sitting up here trying to get to where you have been living your whole life. So for them to think that what or how we grew up is somehow glamorous makes absolutely no sense when we're sitting here trying to get to where you're at. You was born with that silver spoon in your mouth. I wasn't. My homeboy wasn't. My homegirl down the street wasn't. My mama wasn't. My daddy wasn't. Hell, my grandparents is from the country, so I know they wasn't. So what's the intriguing thing about the hood? What's the intriguing thing about the projects? They think in their minds that us living in these areas, that somehow because we're out here representing it, that somehow we're happy about it. We love where we're from because we grew up there, but we are never, not one time have we ever been happy about the elements that we live in. But they seem to think both of those go hand in hand. And they don't. You know, I hear some people say, oh, well, I don't like where I grew up at. Or I'm not happy where I came from and all that. Why? Don't be happy about don't be happy about the elements. But where you grew up at, you gotta stand on 10 on that. Because that is what shapes you into who you are. This is why you see people coming from these areas working 10 times as hard. But the problem is, in that whole scope, people leave these neighborhoods and never return unless there's some barbecue or some hood day going on and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But they always talk about, yeah, we doing this and doing that. Woo, woo. Well, obviously, whatever you're doing ain't working because the shit just, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Make it make sense. All this is nice and dandy. And I'm not discrediting anybody that's doing good in their neighborhood. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. It's simple mathematics of how to correct all of this shit. But until people get out of their own egos and get out of their own way, it's going to be a reoccurring cycle on a lot of this shit. It's going to be up and down. There's going to be periods where it's going to look like things is changing. And then there's going to be periods where it looks like all hell and chaos is breaking loose. People know what it is because they talk about it all the time. But coming out your mouth to put it on your feet is two different elements. Yeah, it sounds good when you're speaking on it. But when it comes time to actually doing it, is you going to be out there feet to ground and making that shit happen. Yeah. You're still the mentor. I'm the old fart with no filter. People who don't like the truth as I see it no longer hang around me grin. That hey, and that right there is something that I notice happens in every age of life. As soon as you start talking some real shit, they gonna sit around and be like, no, I don't want to hear that. Why not? Like, if what I'm saying is the truth, then why are you know what I'm saying? Like, is there something going on in your life that what I'm saying is making you uncomfortable? You know, which the truth is very uncomfortable. And there's a lot of people who cannot handle that. You know, people have lost the sense of sacrifice, you know, because the only way you can grow, you know, and this is why I look at things in a lot of different ways than some other people. Some people feel what I'm saying. If I know that this is something that I do in my everyday life works, then why wouldn't I use that on a bigger scale to make a bigger impact so kids can actually go out there in the streets again and be kids? You know? Oh yeah, R.I.P. to Jacker. Yeah, that was fun when I was playing his stuff on his birthday. You know. Oh yeah, I'm not wise. I'm just experienced at some of life. I can tell you a little about my life and hope that something in my story will help you younger folks, but I still make mistakes. Hey, we can learn from each other. You know, we can learn from each other. You know, I learn from my nephews, and they younger than me. You know, I learn from older folks. I learn from people my you know what I'm saying? Because we can learn from each other. We only human. We're gonna make mistakes. We're gonna stumble. You know what I'm saying? It's just life. You know. Yeah, you know, it's just, you know, and people, and I think people really have lost that sense of life. Like, there's another way people see things, and I it's like, it's not complicated. You know, life is not complicated. Life is really not complicated, and people have taken life and turned it into a complete math problem. And I just, you know, I don't understand it. You know, I mean, I understand why, but I still don't understand it. You know, people sit here and talk, oh yeah, we want better, we want to do better, and that, this and that, but they don't want to actually do better. They want to do it just for the acknowledgement, you know, do it for your votes, do it for your goodwill, and all this propaganda. But them knowing that, yeah, I don't really care. I'm just, you know, doing this because, you know. So, but I'm about to go ahead and end this, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. This was fun. Nuclear Gravy, I hope you come back through. You spoke a lot of truth, and I would like to hear more about your story, though. You know, so tomorrow, see, I know I'm going to be at Wrestle Tatis tomorrow. Make sure y'all tap in for that for AEW Dynamite. So I definitely will be over there. I don't know if I'm going to be live tomorrow. But if I do, I will let y'all know. So with that said, y'all have a good night. Be safe. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And until the next time, we up out of here. Peace.